Good evening, everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. And as you can tell, this is our first attempt at doing a green screen. I wanted to try to go in a little bit of a different way, just to spice things up here a little bit. On my far right, I have my partners back in action. Far right, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from East High School, Coach Paul Briandy.
Thank you, John. Welcome back too, Dave.
Paul, good to see
Seeing you back.
And our man in the middle this week will be the Section 5 Hall of Fame football and baseball coach from Fairport High School, Coach Dave Lanning. Coach, thanks.
John, good to see you again.
Good seeing you.
How's the summer been?
Not bad. Fast, very fast.
Now it's football season.
Now it is football season. This episode right here, what we're going to do is this is our kickoff to the 2025 Section 5 football season. And we're just going to go over a couple, we're going to go over who we think, should be in the running hopefully this year for each division. And then at the end, we're going to have our AA picks, top 3 picks of AA, and just have a little fun with that. So before we get into all that, first of all, we have to say, if you have subscribed, we have to say thank you very much. Appreciate you subscribe to our station. It's on every week, Thursday at 5 p.m. If you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and help us make our channel grow. That would be greatly appreciated. After that, I haven't mentioned them in a while, is our sponsors. Our sponsors are at the end of the show at the credits, and you just go up through there you can see our sponsors. If anybody's interested in being a sponsor or knows anybody that would like to be a sponsor, just give me a call or an email. We would love to have you aboard. And like I said, we're coming up on a little over 1.5 years of doing this, and this is our second season, our 32nd episode of year number 2, and overall, this is our 84th episode of Keeping It Real Section 5 Football. So, as I've always said, George loves it. We're just moving right along. So let's get into this a little bit, this 2025 season. Let's start first with Coach Lanning. What do you think, Coach, as far as, let's start on Class D.
Well, Class Ds typically have been pretty well balanced the last few years, and I would expect that again. And at this point, I don't know who the front runner would be, truthfully, in Class D.
Well, as I was going over this for the last week or so, this is very hard as far as everyone from AA down to D is who's the outright. And I looked through all of them. I couldn't find one.
Well, the one that I'm very interested is Pembroke moving up from 8-man, and they've had tremendous success at 8-man, and now they're going to be moving up, I believe, to the Class D. And I like to see how they compete.
Yes.
It's hard to sort them out for me until maybe the second or third week when you see the pretenders from the contenders. So
That's what we were talking about off camera a little bit, is that like pro to college and in high school, when we were talking earlier, I said everything starts with a quarterback. I really believe that, even in high school, if you have a returning quarterback, you're already going into a good direction.
And plus, we've seen kids in the area have transferred. Some schools have picked up some transfers. Some schools have lost some transfers. You have to stay healthy throughout the season, and that can change the direction of your team.
Yes. I think that Paul just saying that, that's even more so. Our numbers in Section 5 as far as football are okay. A couple years ago, of course, during the pandemic, they were down a lot. I think it's starting to bounce back a little bit as far as numbers on teams. And, but if a team loses, say, 2 or 3 starters, that is a major problem. You know what I'm saying?
And we've also seen the Leroy Caledonia combination. Now you have Perry, Ledgeworth, Warsaw as a combination team now. So we're seeing more and more of that, and you get a couple players each school that can make a difference.
Yes.
I don't know about the smaller Class classifications, but I saw a Fairport Brighton scrimmage the other night. Fairport JVs.
Wow.
Brighton.
Those are great numbers.
Numbers are up.
From what I've seen, I was over at Irondequoit, and again, they're modified. They have 2 modified teams, and they've got to be at least 70 kids. You know, so you're talking 35, or somewhere in the upper 30. So over there, I know for sure. I was at McLean one night, and they're in the mid-40s, I'd say.
And the other side of that coin, I believe the two preschool Olympia and Armenia will not feel big. They'll always wait to see what Wilson will have in the city. You know, whatever they do. Even with Wade, I believe we're not going to concussion better than good. So that's the other side.
Yeah. That, speaking of that, tonight, it comes out Thursday night, I'm going to be over at Greece Athena, excuse me. I wanted to go over and watch their opener. They play Canandaigua. So that should give us a good, as far as Canandaigua was always in the mix. And just to see how Athena coming back from the good effort. So watch that one. Friday night, I'm still up in the air.
Friday, I'm going to look at that airport. We're going to have the inaugural John Santini Bowl. I'm a legendary coach that passed away this past year. And I believe get ready for a sea of white. That's the plan. And they open up with Ithaca High School. Okay. Out of section. So we're excited to go there and represent respect for the Santini family and share our section by.
Yes. Now, Friday night, I know you're going to be here. No, you're out of town. I forgot that little journey.
Johnson. Baseball trip.
Yes, yes, that's going to be something to remember. Friday night, I think I'm going to do a double. I'm going to start off at East Rochester, right down the road. PR is open.
That's a big game right out of the blocks.
So I'm going to go over and watch some of that, and then that's the time to be the season starting. Within a week or so, I know we won't be talking about this as far as who we think is
Some teams will separate from the pack. There'll always be a couple surprises, and there's some teams that maybe are not at the level that they've been.
You have to be in it. Players.
Yeah, and a couple other intriguing teams that I'm interested in. You have Eastridge that played one Class B last year, Central Kansas Class B, move up to Class A. They open up Class A power. We have Hilton, who was a double moving down. And that time Hilton was an A, I believe they won. So those are a couple teams that I'm
by Rush in the sectionals.
And you have the defending champs in A with the coaching changes with Chris Battaglia, Derek Anacino coming back So bringing back a lot of that Aquinas tradition. So believe they open up with a team from Canada.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over a little bit of the two upper divisions, AA and A, talk a little bit about that, and look at it, like I said, maybe a couple teams in each one. Paul, who is your A, would say your top contender?
Well, again, that's very difficult. I could start naming teams that are going to be in the mix. I had mentioned Hilton getting back in, Brighton as a defending champion, Canandaigua and East, who were sectional champions the 2 previous years before them. I think Webster Schrader is also a team that will be in that mix. And Brockport came on last year to win a round of the sectionals. So, again, there's 5 or 6 teams, and could be completely wrong. It could be somebody else that we haven't even mentioned.
Yes, yes. And the good part about this right now is everybody's undefeated.
Right.
And honestly, I mean, we've been coaching for a couple of times. This is really hard as far as picking out a true AA, a true A.
I see a lot of very, very competitive games this year.
Oh, yes.
That are going to be a touchdown or less.
My thinking is in A would be at the top. I'd start at my top 3. I'd put it number 1 which is easy to say, but I know is Brighton. I think Brighton is going to be back again. Again, everything that we're all talking about starts number 1 with healthy. Teams that are going into the postseason the healthiest, they're the teams that are going to, I think they're going to survive the longest, Well,
I agree. I think Brighton, having watched them scrimmage the other night, they look to be very physical. They're going to have a pretty good running game, even though they lost Gavin Parks. They picked up a nice transfer running back, Medina, and look to have decent size up front. So I think Brighton is going to be solid.
Yep, I do too. The other teams in that is I'm just like I said, again, going from number 1 in A all the way down to the bottom. There's not much of a difference. I'm just going to go with Brighton as my number 1. My number 2, I'm just going to put there as far as they've been there and done it, Canandaigua. Canandaigua, for every year in and year out, they seem to be up in the mix. And
well, the other thing too, John, is you're going to have a A1 and an A2.
Yeah.
And so you actually do get 2 sectional champs, and then they would play off. But depending on which bracket they're in. I know Arundequoit is an A1 team, but plays basically A2 too.
Yeah.
So, however, again, who you're matching up with, and like you said, staying healthy.
Yep.
And they're another team that will be right in the mix.
Arundequoit is my number 3 right now. They lost one of their really stud receivers. But Coach Victor and all those guys over there just, I've been over there a couple times watching practice, and they're doing what they're doing. They're going to be solid running, solid in every aspect. Their first game is Wilson, and Friday night, and they're going to come out like they did last year. I mean, their feet are going to be running.
Now, where does Penfield play in this year? What class?
They're double A.
Double A, okay.
Yep, and
we'll come back to them.
They're up in that scale too. Their quarterback's returning.
They return a few players, a nice running back, some nice size up front. Their first game is an out-of-section game too. I think it's somebody from the Albany area, Colony maybe.
Yeah, I look at that double A as a grab bag. You could pick it out, and it could be a completely different top to bottom when it's all said and done.
It's a cliche, but that's the division where you better come to play every week.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
You're going to be an upset if you don't. And there's 5 or 6 teams there, I think.
In A, like we said, they're split up into 2. The margin for error is really kind of slim, because there's so many teams and there's 2 divisions.
Right.
So,
Well, and in that, there's a couple A teams that will play Monroe. I believe East High plays
does.
Monroe. East Ridge will play Monroe.
Yep.
So again, wins and losses, and like you said, the margin of error. Those are big games.
Yes. We're in Double A. All those teams will be in sectionals.
Yeah.
But still, as far as proving who is the front runner.
And the only other one, Johnny, and we talked about some of the new coaches. Chris Taylor is at Edison Tech, and I believe they're going to go independent. They are a Double A school.
Okay.
That they will be independent this year.
Oh, good. Now, my third one in Class A, we didn't get to the third one. My third pick in Class A right now is going to be East. And, again, I'm just going as far as the program. They're just solid. Their opening game. Here we go with their opening game. They're traveling down to St. Anthony's.
No, you're thinking of UPrep.
Oh, yes, UPrep.
Right. East is playing East Ridge.
East is playing East Ridge, yes.
and UPrep is playing St. Anthony's.
Yes, so the UPrep, I give them a lot of kudos. They have a 2-year contract with them, and they're going down there this year to play. And right now, I looked at the state, the teams, and Iona Prep is number 1, and St. Anthony's number 2 in the state right now. So, but that doesn't mean a heck. But I'll tell you, they're solid.
They're just traditionally such a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And that's the game. You can take a loss there and come out better for it.
Oh, yes, most definitely. Now on to Double A. Double A, I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to work down to number 3. Is my number 1 pick as far as winning Double A this year is going to be Fairport. And again, I'm going with Fairport. I know through coach, and they got some linemen up front that are, and this all depends on, how healthy teams are, like we've said, and the returning quarterback. I really like their quarterback. He extends plays, and I just think that they're going to just. They do have that bitter taste in their mouth.
Oh, sure they do, and they haven't forgotten that. Now, Sam Roselli, the quarterback, is a dynamic player. Mm-hmm. He can run the football. He can throw the ball. He may not look like a classic drop-back thrower, but he gets it there, sidearm, underhand, whatever he's got to do to make a play. He's also going to play some defense this year at cornerback, which will be interesting, two-way quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yes, that will be. That was my number 1 as far as winning sectionals. My number 2 in the Double A right now, I'm looking at Rush Henrietta. And again, I'm going with the quarterback.
Yeah, I like that. Mangione.
And he just he just extends plays. He makes things happen.
And they made a great sectional run last year when they had a couple of nice upsets where they upset the number 1 seed, and then I don't know, it was the number 4 that they got the next week, and then they lost in the finals to Aquinas.
Now, they do have a coaching change, so a new system.
Bruce Johnson
sometimes takes a little bit to get that in place, but they do have a veteran quarterback, which certainly is helpful. Their running game, they lost a good running back. We'll see how that picks up. They'll be a threat for sure.
Yep. And they did pick up a couple kids in the off season. Through the transfer, and that'll be very interesting to watch, again, how they pan out.
One of the dark horses that I think to look out for is Penfield. I think that they were young. They're getting another year older. They seem to be much more confident. They were trying to be a physical team, and I think that they will be someone to watch out for.
They return a quarterback. Started last year for them. He'll be asked to do a little bit more this year, I think, as far as throwing the ball. They have an outstanding Ronan Boyle, a Division I prospect. I think he's going to one of the military academies. Plays tight end and defensive end. He's a stud. And a nice running back, and they've come a ways. I know they've done a lot of work in the weight room off season.
Well, and then you have the traditional powerhouses, the McQuaids, the Aquinas, the UPreps in that classification that will always be in the mix somehow.
My number 3 pick, though, if I had to pick a team, that number 3 pick right now, I'm looking at would be Aquinas. And the reason why I pick Aquinas is they could possibly, I think they probably have the best running back Section 5 this year in Jeff Logan. He is a stud of a football player. And I watched him over at Westside Camp, and I've been out to their practices a little bit. And I know, practice isn't like how it used to be. But just watching the way he carries himself and everything, besides the quarterback, he's going to touch the ball like 25, 30 times a game.
Yeah, and Aquinas has some new opportunities for some kids to step up on the defensive side. They lose Leon, who was a player of the year. They lose the young man going to Syracuse, the defensive end. And Buttles, who was a great safety for them. So those are three major parts of their defense last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm just guessing right now, to see a little wildcat from them snapping the ball directly to Logan.
That's been discussed a little bit too. I'm sure with Pincelli is the offensive coordinator over at Aquinas, and I'm sure he's been around this long enough. He's got a couple tricks up his sleeves, because if they had Buttles, if Buttles was the quarterback, they would be hands down number one team in AA, but he's not there, so we go what we go with. But Jeff, if Logan stays healthy again, we come back to that. If Logan's healthy, he is something. He's something. So.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with those three picks. You have again, as Paul said, some traditional powers. McQuaid, they graduated a lot. Who knows? They'll be in the mix because they coach them up over there, and get them ready to play.
And like the AA's, those were my top three. Close 4 and 5 right in there is UPrep and McQuaid. Yeah. I mean, as far as AA's too. I mean, it's not that far away from each other.
I just see the AA and the A very, very competitive, and should be a lot of fun games this year.
So with that,
I want to go off topic just for a second.
Oh, go ahead.
As far as the teams, watching some practice is something that impressed me. I'm seeing a lot of teams in practices and in scrimmages wearing the helmet bonnets.
The Guardians.
The Guardians, whatever they're called, and I think that's a great idea to protect kids outside of games. So that's just an aside for me. The other thing is rule changes this year. I don't think there are a whole lot. There's one about fumbles. I know if a ball is fumbled and it's batted forward out of bounds, it comes back to the spot where it was fumbled. Probably a good rule because you practice trying to nudge it forward.
I do think, too, all the games will have the second clock. Now because lacrosse had to put
45
that in.
And the 25.
Yeah, because some places did have that, some did not. But I think that will be mandatory on all the
Well, that's
fields.
good because you would have to watch the official and he'd be
making
giving you a
the
little
count
countdown. So, yeah, that'll be helpful too.
I would say, as far as within the next 5 years, I would like you just talked about. I would like to see is all high school kids with the Guardians. There's the Guardian, the protective helmets.
Yeah.
The Guardians, I've seen the new ones out on the market. They don't look bulky. It's kind of a smoother finish. So if the teams put their decals on the side or whatever, it's not that far off looks wise as far as a regular helmet. But
anything to make the game safer, of course, is a positive.
And I think one other uniform rule change will be about the knees.
The knee pads,
to be
I did
covered.
hear that.
Yeah, right.
That's been a trickle down from the pros. Look like they're wearing shorts half the time in college. And high school kids were trying to get away with it. Now they're going to enforce it.
That was getting up higher and higher.
Yeah.
with
Now,
that.
Going back to when I was coaching, our set of pants came in, and the knee pad was only about that big.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I did hear that they're trying to clamp down on that. But if your uniforms don't cover the knees, I mean, maybe they should, huh?
They'll have to.
Find
They're
a
going to
way.
enforce it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right.
Go out buy another set of pants.
just to get back, there was one class we did not talk about, was the Class B. And
Okay.
there's really 4 teams, right? As
Yeah.
we know. And obviously, Monroe, it looks like the team to beat in that class. Batavia, traditionally, Honeoye Falls have all been strong representatives there. But we see Monroe as a very, very strong representative from Section 5 in the state.
I planning on watching them play East this year. I was at the East Monroe game last year, and as far as their regular season schedule, East looks like it's going to be a pretty good opponent for them. After that,
And Monroe also picked up the receiver from Runaway Walker. That's another addition, because I think Monroe probably has 7 or 8 scholarship kids on that roster right now.
yeah. So as far as the best team in Rochester on paper right now is Monroe. I mean, they have all the state kids that were first or second, third, fourth team All-State last year. They have the best player in the state. He's the number 1 recruit. And now picking up Brian, it makes them even more.
And you have a lot of those teams, and I don't know what the number is, but they're all going independent. And that was very competitive last year, and they continue to want to stay as an independent with that.
Now, going over a little bit, this is, like I said, this is a test for us. Next week will be our start at Premier Sports. We'll be up at Premier for the next regular season is, 10, 11 weeks. So we will be broadcasting up at Premier Sports in Grease Ridge Mall. But the episodes are still coming out Thursday at 5 p.m. And that's going to be like how we picked it up or left it off last year. We're going to have our, we'll sit down and talk about the games that were played, the upcoming games of the week, and we're going to give out a Player of the Week award. And I think that went really well last year. And I know talking to the players and even their coaches that brought them or parents that brought them, they were really pretty excited about it. Again, we have to say thank you to Joe Muno for giving us that opportunity to be up there at his place. And we will be there for the next 10 or 11 weeks. So that should be a lot of fun up there, too. Again, if anybody has anything as far as what they're liking, please go to the comments. I did get a couple comments last week off some stuff, so I appreciate that. And just stay tuned. Everybody good?
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're off and running.
And I know you do a great job, John, with adding the pictures in the beginning and at the end of the podcast. And again, for anyone that has some great pictures they'd like to send in, we like to get them up on the podcast.
I will definitely get the pictures out. If you email them to me, I have my email in there. And or if you just want to text them to me, I can just take it or just send them to me off your phone. You can just send them to me. And I'm always looking at changing pictures in and out now. It's pretty easy to do. So just anything just to, upgrade what we're doing and try to get Section 5 football out more and more. Actually, my friend down in Florida who watches this, I told him I wanted to say his name, but he would kill me if I did for whatever. He watches it every Thursday night. He says, I look forward to it, Coach. I come home, I get my dinner out, and Thursday night, 5 o'clock, I'm watching Keeping It Real and having my dinner. He said, I look forward to it every week. He says it keeps him informed as far as what's going on up here with football. And that was one of our number one goals.
Yeah, and we're going to pass out some more information, upcoming events in Section 5. We look forward to this. This is a fun time of the year as everybody's excited, the start of the season, and we're looking forward to this season being even better than last.
Yep, in the back screen, I'm messing around with this as much as I can a little bit for this. Maybe I'll put a picture of Coach Lanning in the background.
Not a bad idea. But
Or,
Just pick a good one.
or I could put George in it. No, not George.
We'll lose viewers.
We'll lose. If anybody's got any suggestions, I can basically put any picture up here, anything that's within the realm. Just everybody just stay tuned. And like I said, next week we'll be broadcasting from Premier Sports in Grease Ridge Mall. So just stay tuned for that. And everybody have a good week. And football is here, starting up actually tonight in Section 5. Got to get over to watch Athena and Canandaigua. And
I believe Victor and Pittsford are also playing.
Yeah,
that Teddy T Bowl or whatever they play on Thursday.
Okay, so there's some games already that are already going to be playing tonight. So if you want to get out for a little while, I know the weather should be decent tonight, and just go watch some football or tomorrow night or Saturday, and it's here. So go out and enjoy it, and get back in touch with us, and we'll go from there. Everybody good?
Ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Keeping it real, Section 5 football.
Good night, everybody. Have a great night.
I don't know what to do with it. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how we